let's just go ahead and get straight to it because the Spurs, they low-key got me pissed off. The Spurs show a 29-point lead to the Knicks. They go down 3-1. And like I said this on my sit, like y'all ain't watching those, I'll leave them down in the description because those are more short form. But LeBron ain't walking through that door, so the Knicks is gonna win the NBA Finals. Unless Wemby decides to, remember how to play basketball by the time we get to Game 4, or sorry, not Game 4, Game 5. I don't know, man. Like, first of all, I don't want to start with Wemby. I'm gonna start up with De'Aaron Fox because score is 106 to 105. They're in the bonus, mind you. They're in the bonus, which if for anyone who watches any a second basketball, when you're in the bonus, that means if you get fouled, free throws. If you're up, I would probably hold the ball and let them foul me in the first place. De'Aaron, when I get a little cute with it, when I go for a layup, got that shit blocked by OG Anunoby, and now, the Knicks get the ball, they call timeout. Jalen Brunson takes a three, misses it, obviously, and then, OG Anunoby. They do say that the dangerous man on that play, the most dangerous person on that play, is always going to be the inbounder, and they proved it right. OG came up, stuck behind, everyone. They didn't see him. He got the tip in. And then, the ball goes to the Spurs. They call timeout. And I don't know when Bitch Johnson, I don't know what he be drawing up. He don't be drawing up shit, actually. I think that's the problem with the plays. He doesn't do anything. Especially down the stretch. I feel like... Let me ask y'all, the viewers of this, because, I don't know. They'll probably get like one person watch this. But for the one person who does make it to this far... let me ask you something. If you're watching, if you're the coach of a team, right, and you have a 6'5" point guard, Stephon Castle, and a 7-foot guy in Victor Wembanyama, who, if he puts his arm up, he could probably touch Patrick Ewing's jersey and the rafters. If you have two people like that, when you inbound the ball, are you gonna do a screen and get the ball to the shorter player or the guy that can touch touch the sun? I'd probably end up giving the ball to the guy that can touch the sun, right? But nope, that's not what they did at all. They they dropped a play for Stephon Castle, which I guess if he didn't fumble it and trip over his feet, maybe he could have actually made the layup or made the shot. But hey, like Kanye said, I guess we'll never know. Blowing a 29-point lead in the finals, blowing a 29-point lead regardless is just crazy, but especially in the NBA Finals when you're supposed to be the most locked in during this point, and it gets, the first half they completely dominated the Knicks. It wasn't like, oh, I was getting my thumb already, the picture of Wemby pointing to his head, I still might use that for comedic purposes, but I wasn't using it and, say, oh, Spurs dominate, they tie the series, and that was going to be the title of this video, but nope, that's not going to be the title of this anymore. Because the Spurs in the second half, they just want to shoot a bunch of threes, and I get it. The threes was knocking. They was for sure hitting in the first half. I think it was 13, which I don't remember if it was a franchise record or a finals record. It was some sort of, some sort of quality, historicness behind it. And the second half, they weren't hitting, and you would think that would mean, hey, if they're not hitting, I think it said at one point they were 3 for 15 for three in the second half. If they're not hitting, you think, oh, this gets an easy to the basket. We're already in the bonus for pretty much the entire quarter, and I just felt like they just kept chucking to the threes when they could have made it easier on themselves. I don't know what the Spurs, they really like to make it hard on themselves, and maybe they just, I don't know, result of being such a really young team. Maybe that's part of the issue, but like, I guess I don't know, man. I guess now I can get my little spiel on Wemby. I think he had like 20. I don't really care what his kind of stats look like. In the second half, he showed like dog shit. Maybe the 3 for something is what I'm complaining that with Wemby. Maybe it was both. I think it might have been their threes in the second half, and also Wemby. I think he's at 3 for 14 in the second half. And obviously, he missed those 2 free throws at the end. Because if he would have hit those free throws, that tip by OG Anunoby would have only made the game 108 to 107, and the Knicks still would have been down, and they would have had to play the fouling game. I don't know, time would have run out and shit, but obviously we didn't get to that point because he missed back-to-back free throws, and he's a pretty good free throw shooter, especially for someone of his height. And they just, I don't know if obviously he choked, the whole team choked, especially De'Aaron Fox. I'm not gonna get over that. I'm not gonna get over that layup. That in the second half and the fourth he wasn't good in general. De'Aaron Fox, it might be time to. It's funny because he's only like 28. He's not even that old, but it might be time for Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper I'd argue he was probably the best player today, and he's been damn near their like second best player of the entire finals. Somebody who's been better than Wemby offensively. Obviously, Wemby's defense is going to show up and show out. But I don't know, necessarily in this game, it wasn't like he was spectacularly on the defensive end. I mean, Jalen Brunson, one of the threes, I think it was to take the lead, the shortcut it from, I think it was 108 to 101 at the time, and Brunson hit a three over him. So it wasn't even like, he was honestly strapping shit down towards the end of the game. So, but yeah, man, this is more of a. I want to give more of my props to the Knicks and just focusing on shit in the Spurs, because to be down 29 and to not get, some teams, a lot of teams when it gets killed over. I guess obviously it's the biggest comeback. So every other team besides the Knicks, they kind of just accepted what it was, and they took the L on that. But the Knicks, they came back, showed, hey, maybe be down, but we gonna keep fighting, and Jalen Brunson, I believe he had 35, 30 something in the 30 plus range. He was hooping. And OG Anunoby, again, he's been amazing. Like, I don't know if, like, because again, I'm assuming the Knicks, unless some historical shit happens, the Knicks are gonna win this finals. They'll get their first ring since the 70s. And with that, I don't know who's gonna win finals MVP. I guess it depends on who performs best. If they do, but the Knicks do win in Game 5. I guess, Cat obviously has been, the defensive. The scoring has been kind of down the last couple of games. OG Anunoby has been really consistent, but I think overall, I feel like voters kind of do look at the counting stat purposes, and if we just go based off of that, Jalen Brunson, I think he's probably averaging like 30 plus in the final. So, and obviously he's been clutch on the stretch. I don't want to knock him, but I think some of the other players, especially like I said, OG, haven't really stepped it up. Like the others have been really good this series, so I just want to give some of my love to them as well. But I think Jalen Brunson probably will. I mean, he's been, like I said, he's been clutch down the stretch, and so you can never hate on that. Going into this series, I did say that down the stretch, what matters most is how Wemby and I said the two best players on how Wemby and Brunson perform. And Brunson, I mean, he's been one of the most clutch players in the league since he's been on the Knicks. But like time and time again, he always proves. Obviously OG, he had to tip him, but time and time again down the stretch, Jalen Brunson proves that you want the ball in my hands. Like, you can trust me. I'm getting paid. Obviously, it's a discount, but I'm getting paid the big bucks still. And like, you can trust me, robbing me. I'm gonna carry this team. We gonna take all the way. And I'm pretty sure he's still on a bum leg too. That's not gonna magically disappear. So Jalen Brunson, man, Jalen Brunson. That's kind of it. Honestly, I gave my bars to the Spurs for their performance. They a young team, and I know people say you'll be back. I don't know. I mean, I think with the development of like Dylan Harper and stuff, I think that would be key. I think they'll be back at least. And I don't know how soon it could be. I don't know if it'll be next year or a few years from now, what have you. But I think the Spurs will definitely be back. At least one of them will be back. I can't speak to other guys. Keldon Johnson, again, I talked about him last video, I think it was, but if I told you that he had won an award this year, you would have no idea that he won an award at all. I'd be forgetting that he exists because he doesn't do anything ever productive. So I don't know. Shout out to Keldon Johnson for being asked. I guess if I was a Knicks fan, I'd be in the streets wearing a Keldon Johnson jersey right now, and I'd be like cheering for Mick Johnson and shit. Because they are doing a phenomenal performance for the Knicks. So I would salute to them. But I think, is that all I want to give? Yeah, I mean, the Spurs, they just disappointed me. I picked the Spurs to win, so obviously it's a little bit disappointed. But I don't care about being wrong. I just care about good basketball. And the Knicks, I mean, they're both teams. This has been a great series overall. We've had a lot of close games. I think the only one that was a double digit was Game 1, and even now it's pretty much close up until kind of got away from the Spurs at the end. But this has been a really good series so far. One of the best finals in recent memory. So I'm glad at least getting some entertainment about that. Again, I don't really care. I said Spurs in 6 or 7. I guess technically it could. Obviously, that it can only be 7. That couldn't be 6 anymore. But I guess technically Spurs in 7 is still on the table. But I'm most likely wrong, and that's okay. I'm not gonna shoot 100%. Knicks, they showing that they got that veteran experience. They making the Spurs look like they, what, and yeah. I'll see y'all after Game 5. We could be crowning a new NBA champion, or I'll say how the Spurs, they brought it to 3-2. But regardless, I'll see y'all. I don't know. I'll be forgetting this, guys. I'm assuming it's a two-day gap between the games now. So what is today? Wednesday. I think the video will probably be on Saturday. So yeah, I'll see y'all on Saturday. And hey, Spurs, y'all messed up, man. Peace.